What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of VR365. It is Thursday, but it is not 5 o'clock. No, it is not 5 o'clock. We are a little bit early this time. In fact, it is actually 3:31 p.m. It is March 19th. And of course, when you're in the month of March and you're thinking about dates, one of the things that we're thinking about, as I delay because I forgot to do this, is of course we have 4 days left. 4 days left, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Friday, we've got Saturday, we've got Sunday, we've got a little bit of time on Monday, and we still have a little bit of time today. So basically, we've got 4 days left in the reality that we are currently in. And then we're going to step into a new reality. We're going to step into the Matrix. Yeah, the Matrix is a lot closer than any of us thought. But you know what? We got a lot to actually cover on today's episode of the show. We're going to be checking out a lot of trailers, a lot of game announcements, different release dates, different things that have kind of come out of the blue. Is any of it earth-shattering? Probably not. I don't know that any of this stuff is super earth-shattering, but there is a lot of stuff to cover. There's a lot of juicy things to get into. We've got a lot of good games. We have a lot of good games that are starting to line up. You know, we've had a bit of a drought. If we really think about it, let's think about it. In the month of January, pretty slow, very slow in the month of January. And then Saints and Sinners came out. Remember, it was like January 23rd is when we got The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. But up until that point, it was all quiet on the Western Front. Then, after we get Saints and Sinners, it's been pretty darn quiet. It really has. But you know what? All of that is about to change in a major way. So we're going to be talking about a lot of that. We've got some other little interesting tidbits to get into as well, mostly about a lot of game-related stuff. Also, PlayStation 5. We're going to talk a little bit about PlayStation 5. And what about my dream, ladies and gentlemen? What about my dream? The dream that I have, an AR dream. I have an AR dream. I've talked about it before. I talk about the carpet and I talk about hot lava. Now, who doesn't want to run around their house, jumping from spot to spot, pretending that you're avoiding hot lava? I mean, it's awesome. We all did it when we were kids, right? The sofa was the safe place to be, and you had to jump like from a pillow. You put a pillow on the ground and it's like you got to jump to the pillow. If you accidentally touch the carpet, you're a dead duck. We all did it when we were little kids. Well, maybe there's a new technology coming that might allow us to do that type of thing. So we've got some interesting things to get into. But you know what? I think we need to start it, of course, with the number one topic of the day. And the number one topic, we are 4 days away. So it is going to be a lot of Half-Life stuff. And the interesting aspect of this whole entire Half-Life thing, guys, here's an interesting aspect of this Half-Life thing, is anybody going to get sick of this? Is anybody going to get sick of this? Because I might get sick of this. I just want to play the game, but, man, I don't know. I think when Half-Life comes out, I'm not going to have any videos. I'm not going to do any videos about Half-Life. I'll let everybody else do that. And I might not even comment about Half-Life very much. I might just want to enjoy it and just like not even talk about it because it's just so, like, sometimes things just get too played out. But anyway, why is it in the news? Well, Half-Life Alyx in the news for several reasons. Number one, preloading. Yes, preloading is going to begin this Friday. Let's switch over to the webinar. So here it is, Half-Life Alyx. This is the Steam page. Now, what I understand is starting tomorrow, I'm not sure what time tomorrow, maybe Pacific time, maybe sometime Pacific time, like 10 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know when, but we're going to be allowed to preload Half-Life Alyx, to download it in advance. which is a beautiful thing because I got to tell you, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? One of the ways that I am able to do this show right now at this special start time and start a little bit earlier than I normally start, which is kind of nice. It's a bonus to be able to start a little bit earlier like this. But one of the reasons I've been able to do this is I have days off from work right now. I had Wednesday off, I have today off, I have Friday off. And you know why I had these 3 days off? Not just to chill out. I had these 3 days off because I was planning on going to GDC. Obviously, we all know what happened with that. But on Monday, when this game comes out on Monday, I actually have to go back to work. Yeah, I work for the state of California in California, and my particular agency, they're working. Nothing has changed. They are working at my agency. Despite everything that's going on, people are still driving in and going into my agency and working. And Monday, I'm going to be working. But the beauty is I get to preload this puppy. So when I finally get home and it's like 5 p.m. Pacific time and everybody has already played 9 hours of this game or whatever, I'm going to just be starting it. But the good news is I don't actually have to go through the downloading process. So that is really cool. So I like the fact that we are able to preload this. Now, of course, the other thing that happened in relation to Half-Life Alyx, we talked about it very briefly there just before, is Gaben was interviewed for a half an hour, and Robin, is it Robin Walker? I think it's Robin Walker. Let me double check. I know the other guy. Yeah, Robin Walker, who is basically the lead programmer, or he's basically like the lead guy on Half-Life Alyx. He is the main guy behind Half-Life Alyx. So him, Gaben, Ryan McCaffrey of IGN all got together, had an interview. It's well worth watching. Definitely watch this interview. But the one thing I will say about this interview, guys, is that the downside of this interview is he doesn't really say anything about VR. Like in this whole half an hour that this thing drags on, there's lots of interesting, juicy stuff. And it's, I was watching the whole thing and I was entertained by the whole thing, but not actually a lot is said about VR. He probably talks more about like brain-computer interface than he does VR. Now, they talk about Alyx, which is a VR game, but they're not really saying much about VR. I was also a little bit surprised that Ryan McCaffrey never addressed the Valve Index shortage situation, which you would think that maybe he was told, don't ask about that. Maybe that was off the table, but you would think he would talk about that. It is a relevant thing because Index very briefly available and then completely gone. So the stocks are not there. You might want to ask the lead man in charge, Gaben himself, in his sandals with his flowing beard. He was like Moses coming down from the hill to hand us our 10 Commandments. The one thing that Gaben did say that I felt was interesting is in talking about this game, he believes they knocked it out of the park. He believes they knocked it out of the park. And Robin Walker was just sitting there and all he could do was basically smile. It's nice when the head guy in charge likes what you produced. So that is coming in a matter of 4 days. Preload it, get hyped, get ready. It is exciting. Okay, let me go ahead and check chat and see what people are talking about over here in chat. Yeah, things might be different with my work office by Monday. Maybe something will have changed. The problem is the job that I do for the state of California, we have deadlines that are federally imposed deadlines that we have to get a certain thing done by a certain federal deadline. And so we might just straight up be exempt throughout this whole entire thing. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. But let me see what folks are talking about in chat. Paradise Decay says, Anthony is looking well. Am I? Okay, I hope I am. It's funny. I'm not going to get into the Miley Cyrus. We're not going to talk about Miley Cyrus. But I will say that has anybody else been wondering, oh no, I'm starting to feel a sore throat, or I'm starting to feel this, or oh, I'm kind of having a headache, maybe a fever is coming. You start thinking, I'm sure everybody else is going through this as well, whether if you're having any symptoms of any kind, maybe you're having legit symptoms, but I think a lot of us are having phantom symptoms. You can't help it, man. It's everywhere. It's all people are talking about. And so as soon as you start to feel like a little bit of a headache, you're like, oh shit, here it comes. But other than that, I've basically been great. So I feel good. Hopefully things will be good. Dude, I've got 2 teenage kids that are not obeying quarantine orders. So I'm screwed regardless. Okay, so anyways, let's see. I'm looking over here at chat to see if anybody was talking anything about Half-Life Alyx. Gaming science teacher does mention that the Matrix is around the corner. Yeah, can you guys believe that? The Matrix is around the corner. Well, this is something that Gaben alluded to right here. We're way closer to the Matrix than people realize. I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know what? Hey, I would love it. I can't wait. I'm ready to go to the Matrix. Let's go, bro. I am down to hit up the Matrix. But yeah, Gaben says we're a little bit closer. He is talking about brain-computer interface. It is a hype thing. It is kind of blockchain, 5G, brain-computer interface. See, here's the thing. If Valve ever goes public, people would be excited about this brain-computer interface in terms of possibly investing. But he actually talked about not going public, Valve, the corporation, that when you go public, part of your freedom is removed, and he can have a dictatorship. He can do crazy ass shit that makes no sense, like spending ridiculous amounts of money building a VR only game that only a tiny fraction of people will really be able to appreciate. I think it's a good thing, though. You have to make these investments, especially if you own a platform like Steam and you want to be a dominating platform when things do move to VR, and you want to be there, and you want to have a beachfront property there. So they're releasing it. They're forcing people to kind of get with the VR program. It is a good thing. Okay, but we've got a lot more stories to get into, so let's go ahead and move on and move past this. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do is I'm going to grab a trailer for Phantom Covert Ops, a brand new trailer. I'm going to go the big video screen here, and let's check out a few seconds of this and see what it looks like. I believe this is the Oculus Rift version, and it's a relatively new trailer. Let's go ahead and check this out for a few seconds.
Stay alert, 02. There's enough of those missiles to blanket an entire country. You're under fire! Get out of there!
Yeah, so there it is. That is Phantom Covert Ops. The trailer does look good. Now, here's one of the things that we have been concerned about with a lot of games where they're coming to the Rift, they're coming to the Quest. We've been concerned about what I call a questicle. And it's basically, a questicle is a game that has been compromised. The vision has been downgraded because they have to worry about the Quest version. So it's affected a little bit. Now, hopefully it doesn't affect the games too bad. Good news in this case, this does not appear to be very much of a questicle because this Oculus Rift footage looks really good, looks better than the Quest version. The Quest version still looks very good. And then we also did get the release date, June 25th. So this is coming on June 25th. It looks great. It is exclusive. You know, this is a tough titty, said the kitty type of a game. You've got to have an Oculus account. You've got to have a Quest, or you've got to have an Oculus account and use Revive. We don't know if this eventually will turn out to be a timed exclusive. Think about it. There's a lot of games. Red Matter, Killing Floor Incursion, virtual reality. So many different games have come to Oculus platforms as exclusives, and then 7 months later, bam, they're hitting Steam. So it might not be a forever exclusive, but it does look good. It does look very good. Some of you guys might be a little bit surprised, though, that we're waiting all the way until June 25th. So we do have to wait a little while for this game. But as we're going to see, as this show continues to move forward tonight, we're going to see that the immediate future is crowded. So it's kind of best that they've moved off a little bit into the distance, and this is going to be like an early summer release, Phantom Covert Ops. You know, one of the questions I do have to ask everybody here, let me see, let's go ahead and make this the question of the day for now, since it is a good question to go with. Phantom Covert Ops, okay, let's say you have an Oculus Quest, you do have a PC VR headset as well. Do you buy this on the Quest? Well, actually, it's probably cross-buy, right? I'm pretty sure you're probably getting both versions, so it's good from that standpoint. But would you be planning to play this on your Quest, or would you be planning to play this game on your Rift S or your CV1, or possibly via Revive on a Valve Index or a Samsung Odyssey or something like that? I can tell you, because it is a seated game where you're in a canoe, I'm going to opt for the high-end PC VR headset. So also, it's a dark game, but actually Quest is good for the dark with the OLED, you know, when you do have a dark game. And we're also going to mention a dark game. It is related to an upcoming game I want to talk about as well. But let's go ahead and move on, because there's a lot more announcements. There's a lot of stuff we got to get into here. So another trailer I'm going to throw up on the screen here is B-Team. So let me go ahead and throw up B-Team. This, of course, is a game that was developed by Twisted Pixel. I didn't know that this was a Twisted Pixel game. I had no idea that this was Twisted Pixel. I've actually played a little bit of this on the Oculus Go. It is pretty fun. It's got like some comedic value, and it's a little bit of a quick action banger kind of a game on the Oculus Go. I had fun with it, but I had no idea that this is Twisted Pixel. But yeah, it's Twisted Pixel. And the reason we're talking about an Oculus Go game is because we have found out that this is going to arrive, I believe, this upcoming Thursday. It's going to hit the Oculus Quest this upcoming Thursday. Now, the Oculus Go version of this game, B-Team, is $7.99. It's $8. And what I'm wondering is, are we going to get pricing parity with the Oculus Quest version of this game? Or might the price jump up a little bit? Maybe it jumps up to $9.99. Maybe it even jumps up to $14.99. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. And then another aspect that we might want to consider is, I own this game already. Well, the VR Roundtable account owns it anyway, right? And you know what? A lot of Oculus Go games that you own already, you automatically get the upgrade sometimes, it seems, when it comes to the Oculus Quest. Like this happened, I believe, with the VR pinball game, Pinball FX2 VR. It happened with Republic from Camouflage. You know, there's a number of Oculus Go games where I happen to already own them, and they just automatically got converted for Oculus Quest. So that's cool. So that's exciting. But, you know, it is a bit of a downer, folks. It is a bit of a downer that, like, this is the big announcement that we get this week, really? Because we pretty much knew about every other game. We just got dates or more information or whatever. Not a lot of new games. We did get some new trailers, and we are going to cover that. But yeah, this is B-Team, Twisted Pixel for the Oculus Quest. Twisted Pixel, though, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be rude. Twisted Pixel did a great job with Wilson's Heart. Since then, I don't know. We talk about different studios we want Oculus to acquire. I don't know. I mean, I've been a fan of Twisted Pixel. I love Splosion Man. Do you guys remember Splosion Man? Like way back in the Xbox Live Arcade days? I do. That's where I remember Twisted Pixel originally. So I've been a Twisted Pixel fan, but their output has been, it's been up and down, I think we could say. Okay, so one trailer that did get released this week, some of the new Oculus stuff that did come out, is a trailer that is called Defy Reality. And it shows clips from a number of different games. And guess what? I've grabbed this clip here and I've slowed it down. This is Cookout, a Sandwich Tale. Remember, Resolution Games is coming out with Cookout, a Sandwich Tale. This is coming likely later this year to VR platforms. These guys have been busy beavers. They've been making a lot of VR games. And we've never seen footage of this game. We've never seen a screenshot of the game. I believe this is the only footage we've ever seen of the actual gameplay. And basically it looks like one of those. It's a chaos simulator. You know, but it looks like it's going to be a chaos simulator, possibly with multiplayer. So multiple people playing it. So kind of like, yeah, yelling back and forth, you know, having a lot of fun, but also chaos and hilarity ensues, all of these kinds of things. Cookout, a Sandwich Tale, but that is the first visuals that I've seen. I don't know if there's any footage anywhere else, anywhere around there, but that is this is what I've seen so far. But you know what? I thought, why don't we take a look at Defy Reality? Let's take a look at this full trailer and just see what they got going on in this full trailer. And I'm going to go ahead and supersize it with my little video window here, but let's check it out for a minute. Yeah, so basically it's showing a lot of the games. There it is. That's the footage of Cookout, a Sandwich Tale. That is the footage that I grabbed really quick and slowed down. But yeah, it's basically showing a lot of the stuff that is going on right now in terms of we're getting updates. Updates are coming to Pistol Whip. Updates are coming to Beat Saber, or additional content that you can buy. And then also the new games that are arriving very soon. So that's a lot of the stuff that we're seeing here with this brand new trailer. So that is the new Defy Gravity trailer that is making the rounds. Okay, but yeah, Cookout, it was nice to see some actual footage there. Okay, so real quick, one thing I do want to do really quick before I forget about it is I am trying to make an effort to thank those that have thanked me basically and have showed some support. And so I do want to thank Super Chatters. This is I made this a long time ago. I never rendered it. It's just another 6 Super Chatters. I got to make a whole bunch more of these and thank some of the Super Chatters that have really been helping the show out. It is absolutely huge. Simplex PL, been a guest on this show, actually, I believe on 2 different episodes. I need to have Simplex on again, hopefully this time with like good video and audio. How crazy would it be to get Simplex on a show where it's like zoomed in on him and it isn't all blurry? You know, that would be cool. So we need to do another interview with Simplex. State of VR has had some super chats. Really appreciate that. Slayblaze, very active with the super chatting. Recycled, Sloth Money, and Skiva 007. Yeah, Skiva 007, if that image or if any of that rings a bell, Between Realities is another podcast that you guys want to check out. Kind of a different angle of a VR podcast. So not the same old VR podcast that you're getting everywhere else. You might want to check that out, Between Realities. But thanks so much for Super Chatters. And I've got a gang more Super Chatters that I've got to thank that I have not rendered this stuff out. Okay, so we've got a lot more trailers of games and extended trailers, extended looks at games that we haven't seen so far. And I want to fire up this one right here. Okay, so let's go over here. Now, this is Lies Beneath, And this is a bit of an extended trailer. It shows us a little bit of a longer look at this game. We're seeing the art style of the game, the way it looks. Let's go ahead and listen in on it for a few seconds here. Yeah, so you can see with this trailer, they do go with a certain art style. It has a certain look to it, and but it does look very good. It definitely looks very good. One of the things that I wondered about this game, though, is whenever you go with this like bloomed out art style, where it's very like the contrast, the brightness is kind of jacked up. And so the darkness isn't jacked up very much. There's a lot of brightness that's jacked up. Now there it's a little bit less so. I just wonder how this is going to look in our actual VR headsets. But this is an exciting game. We're talking about Drifter, a talented developer. These are the guys that did Gunheart. These are the guys that did Gunheart. They also did the conversion of Robo Recall Unplugged to the Oculus Quest. So they've worked on the Quest before. They've got chops. I'm kind of distracted here because this video is like moved over a little bit like that. I don't know why it's like that. I'm not sure why it's coming out like that. But I am excited for this game. And this game is coming to the Oculus Quest on March 31st. Do you know when March 31st is? March 31st is a week from Tuesday. A week from Tuesday. Yeah, if you think about it, like when we get to Monday and Half-Life Alyx dropped, and if you were just to look at that Monday and then look over like the next 10 days and think about all the games we're getting a lot of games, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of good ones. And Lies Beneath by Drifter looks like one of the really good ones. And March 31st, it's hitting the Quest. Now, the Oculus Rift version of the game is April 14th. And I think the delay actually makes logical sense, because why not release it on the Quest a little bit early? Because a lot of people on the Quest are not going to be 7 hours into Half-Life Alyx, or they're not going to be on their second playthrough of Half-Life Alyx. They might not have a gaming PC of any type whatsoever, and they are going to be snapping up Oculus Quest games left and right, while everybody else is going to be in Half-Life Alyx. So delaying the Rift version till the 14th actually makes a wee bit of sense. So I kind of understand that. See, Quest, March 31st, Rift S, April 14th. So that's a big banger that is coming very, very soon. Another big banger that's coming very, very soon. And now this trailer's been out for a little while, but I have not commented on this trailer. I want to comment on it really quickly. So once again, let's go back to this full screen. We're getting the look. Of course, this is The Room VR, a Dark Matter, Fireproof Games. This looks pretty high quality. Let's go ahead and check it out for a minute here. So as you can see, the Room VR, a Dark Matter, it looks really good. Like, this does look high quality. And one of the things I like most about it is the time period, the Egypt thing. It kind of has a little bit of the Mummy and just the whole Egyptian angle of it, and like really late 1800s or really early 1900s. And you can see right there, available on the 26th of March. That is 1 week from today. The Room VR, a Dark Matter, comes out 1 week from today. We're only going to have played Half-Life Alyx for a couple of days, and then bam, this game drops a bomb. And this one is on all the major platforms. It's coming to Oculus Quest, it's coming to PlayStation VR, and it's coming to all the various PC VR platforms as well. And I was lucky enough to get a sample of this game last September, long time ago, at Oculus Connect 6. I had an Oculus Quest on my head. I played this game there, and I remember I have a famous quote that somebody mentioned in the comments of another episode where I took the headset off and I was like, the Quest is good enough. That it's one of the things it dawned on me. It's like, the Quest is just good enough. The Quest is just good enough. And somebody in the comments, when I had said this on a previous episode, was like, if you're saying the Quest is just good enough, that isn't exactly a ringing endorsement. But you know what? It is a ringing endorsement. It is just good enough. And the Room VR Dark Matter looks like a very good Quest game. I mean, high production value. Everything looked very clean and crisp. There was like voiceover work and all of that. This is not a quickie rush job. This is going to be a solid game coming a week from today. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's hitting, and that actually brings me to a question that I want to pose to you guys. And yeah, this sounds like an absolutely ridiculous question, but do we have almost too many good VR games that are coming in like the next 10 days? Because it all starts this Monday. This Monday, you can see Half-Life Alyx drops a nuclear bomb on Monday, and then the very next day, Paper Beast arrives on PlayStation VR. And I know a lot of people probably looking past Paper Beast, they might be like, oh yeah, that kind of artsy-fartsy PlayStation VR game. Oh yeah. I can't say anything about it, but I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about Paper Beast. Then you got the Room VR a week from today, and talk about a game that has been lost in the shuffle, Down the Rabbit Hole. Down the Rabbit Hole by Cortopia Studios. That comes a week from today. B-Team is hitting the Oculus Quest a week from today. And then Lies Beneath and Good Goliath, a big banger, and Xenociders, which we're going to check that out in just a minute. All of those are coming on March 31st, which March 31st, not very far away. That is a week from Tuesday. So there's a lot happening. I think it's kind of weird. I don't really understand this. Personally, if I'm the Room VR, I would rather my release date is like April 17th or something, or if I'm Down the Rabbit Hole, I would rather release on like April 10th or something, or Good Goliath. I'm not sure why all these games are bunching up. Now, the good news is a lot of these games are on different platforms. They might not be that affected by the arrival of Half-Life Alyx. For example, Paper Beast is on PlayStation VR, and Alyx is not on PlayStation VR. And so Paper Beast should probably do pretty well this Tuesday on PlayStation VR. The Room VR is on everything. But the good news about that is it can sell well on Quest, where there's no Alyx. It can sell well on PlayStation VR, where there's no Alyx. Down the Rabbit Hole, I got to imagine Cortopia Studios kind of looking for the same kind of scenario there, hoping to sell well on PlayStation VR, sell well on Quest, and oh well, they are an alternative, a completely different kind of game to Half-Life Alyx. Alternative programming, counter programming. It's kind of like the puppy Super Bowl when the Super Bowl is on. Okay, and then B-Team is a Quest game, and it's a low cost game. Lies Beneath, Quest exclusive for a little window of time, and it's got hype, Drifter Entertainment, plus people are Quest crazy. Good Goliath probably will do okay because it's on PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR gamers are very hungry. It's not on the Quest, also on PC VR. And then Xenociders, why don't we actually get into Xenociders? So, Xenociders is something I did want to talk about. This is a game that I have been watching closely because I do run a website called VR Game Rankings. We try to cover all the upcoming games. In fact, if you guys never heard of it, we've got a top 100 most wanted PC VR games where we literally rank 100 PC VR games. And this game right here, Xenociders, is like in the 50s. I don't remember exactly what it's ranked. It might be like 53rd, 54, 55. It's somewhere in the 50s. And you might think, well, a game in the 50s? Are you really going to? No, there's a lot of good stuff that's coming. There's a lot of power that's coming. But I was more excited about this before I saw this trailer. Before I saw this trailer, I was more excited about Xenociders and also totally shocked by the release date of March 31st. Like this one, bam, just coming out of the blue, straight up Jurassic Park. It is coming on March 31st, folks. It's absolutely happening. So why don't we go ahead and switch over there? I mean, you got a T-Rex eating a regular human, I think that was, and that is coming on March 31st. It's dinosaurs. It's VR. How could this possibly go wrong? What bad could possibly happen? But this is coming on December 31st. Has anybody been checking for this game? Let's check a little bit of this trailer out. So the grass looks good. T-Rex looks pretty nice. You got some crossbow action. I don't know. Graphics? See, here's the thing, guys. I'm looking at this game, and I gotta say the graphics look pretty muddy to me. And then also, like, when you're watching this trailer, you actually see clipping on the right and left. Like they recorded this in OBS like any old random YouTuber. It's like, come on, developers, spend a little bit more money. Make your stuff look a little bit better. I can't tell you how important it is to have a pretty good trailer because it makes a really good impression. Now, it is dinosaurs, it is VR, and the truth of the matter, when you think about dinosaurs in VR, we got Island 359. What else do we have, though? We've got, what do you call it? Robinson the Journey. You got Robinson the Journey, came out a long time ago. You got Island 359, came out a long time ago. We still don't have the totally ideal Jurassic Park kind of simulator type of thing that we really want to have. This one looks pretty Action Jackson. And I don't know. I don't have a ton of love for this. I got to be totally honest with you. Let's check out the. Hold on a second here. I'm going to check out the Steam page for this game, Xenociders. But yeah, I was kind of hyped about this game for a quick second. Okay, here we go. Bouncing over here. Here we go. Xenociders. So yeah, Donuts Company Limited is the developer now. It's weird because the Steam page has not been updated. It still says release date Q1 2020. And yeah, it's the final day of Q1 2020, March 31st. Xenociders is going to arrive. You look at some of the screenshots, looks pretty dope. Look at the sunlight coming through on those nice, on that nice fauna. The jungles are lush. Look at that. That looks really quite beautiful, quite striking. That looks really kind of dope right there. Looks good. Hide, hunt, survive. Xenociders. So it looks pretty cool. And the developer of this game, they've been active on the Oculus subreddit, really on the Oculus subreddit, showing quick little GIFs of like, watch a sunrise or look at our grass animations. They've been doing a lot of that over a lot of months, hyping up this game. And I was kind of interested. The trailer looks okay. But if we look at the developer here, these guys have done other stuff. So they actually do have a little bit of, they have some experience with VR. They made this thing called The Last Letter, which came out a while back, December 30th. Not a lot of love there, but graphically, it looks like a pretty decent thing here. Kind of expensive at $25. but they've done some stuff. They also did Mr. Hackjack, Robot Detective. I know some people have tried this and liked it. There's a number of people that tried this game and liked this. So this is the developer. These are the guys that are behind Xenociders. And according to the most recent trailer, it is arriving on March 31st. So yeah, we've got a lot of games that they're all hitting right around the same time. I mean, obviously Half-Life Alyx is going to dominate everything, but it's kind of weird that we're having such an avalanche of games right in the same kind of time frame with all these games. Okay, let me go ahead and bounce back over to chat. Let's see what's going on over here on chat and see what some folks are talking about here. Let's see. Yeah. So, Gaming Science Teacher says, not so hyped on Lies Beneath. Probably a pass for me. Okay, so Lies Beneath, I still don't know why the trailer is like off kilter on my Lies Beneath trailer. Like when I click on this trailer, it's like the trailer's like shifted over there. I don't know why this is doing this. But yeah, Lies Beneath, I don't know. It's kind of a wham bam thank. Well, you know what? This game is like atmosphere. It's like it's all about the atmosphere, and then it's kind of got the super hot pistol whip kind of an art style, so kind of simplistic, kind of artsy fartsy. You see you got your lighter there that is creating the light, so it's dark. So it's going to kind of have that horror game appeal to it. You're going to have guns. You're going to be blasting. You got shotguns. You got your regular guns. You got a meat cleaver right there. It also has that comic book thing. It's got some style. I mean, let's at least say it's got some style. It's got some originality. It's got kind of an original kind of feel here. Drifter Entertainment, quality developer. They've already done one great Quest game as it is. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited for this one. I think it'll be kind of cool. I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a breather between all these games, but I'm still kind of interested in that one. Okay, Paradise Decay. Let me go ahead and switch over here for a quick sec here because he wants to talk about the Room VR. Let's see what Paradise Decay is saying about the Room VR. Paradise Decay says, the Room VR, A Dark Matter, is superb. Probably my favorite room scale game in VR to date. Wait a minute, Paradise, have you already played this? Does anybody got an email for, it's Fireproof, right? Or what's the name of them? Let me look it up again. I think is it Fireproof Studios? Let's see. The Room VR. The Room VR, A Dark Matter. Yeah, Fireproof Games. Okay, Fireproof Games. I need an email for these guys. I need to get a hold of these guys because I would love to get a code for this game and I would love to try it because you know what? It is a good looking game. We've already talked about it already, but just bouncing over to the Steam page here, you can see it's coming on. This is coming next Thursday. It's coming a week from today. And graphically, there's a lot of detail, a lot of nice production value. One thing we don't know about a lot of these games, we don't know the prices of them. We don't know what the price of this game is going to be. I don't think we know what the price is. I don't think we know what the price of Good Goliath is. I don't think we know the price of Lies Beneath. If anybody in chat knows the price of these games, I don't know that the price has been revealed. A lot of times we've got to wait for the game to actually hit and then bam, we find out it's $29.99 or $34.99 or $24.99 or it's only $19.99 or oh my god, it's only $14.99. And then we're like, oh shit, it only lasts 1 hour. So I mean, price is a little bit of a factor as well. But yeah, a lot of big games all hitting right around the same time. It's a little bit bonkers. But let me go back to chat and see what else people were talking about. MameFan says he's interested in Lies Beneath. So MameFan, you don't own that Quest anymore though, right? So you're going to have to wait until April 17th. Does it piss you off at all that you have to wait this extra period of time because you don't have your Quest anymore? Or do you feel like it's understandable considering Oculus maybe wanting to give a little bit of breathing room for Half-Life Alyx? That could be part of the situation as well. Okay, so yeah, lots of stuff popping off. All right, so anyway, let's see. I know we've got a lot of other stories to get to, so let me go back over to my stories. Okay, one of the big things that I wanted to talk about real quick, and we haven't even touched on it yet, so let's go ahead and get to it. And that, of course, is PlayStation 5. So PlayStation 5, we got some information about the specs for PlayStation 5. There was basically one of these conferences where Mark Cerny gets up on stage, looks kind of crazy. Dude looks kind of crazy, just has that kind of look, right? But he gets up on stage, talks a lot about teraflops, talks a lot about SSD drives and access times. And I don't know. I don't really think I heard anything that was tremendously exciting in relationship to like PlayStation 5 and this upcoming console era. One thing that we did hear about, honestly, maybe the biggest individual piece of news that we got with PlayStation 5 is related to the backwards compatibility situation. See, here's the thing. We all kind of assumed that basically every PlayStation 4 game would work no problem whatsoever, but that's not the case. Because PlayStation 5 is using these SSD drives, these really fast SSD drives, and because of the way the architecture is designed, Sony has discovered that not every game is running correctly. Not all PS4 games are running correctly. And so what we found out originally when it comes to PlayStation 5, the theory is we're going to be able to take our existing PlayStation VR headsets, we're going to be able to plug it into PlayStation 5, and supposedly we're going to be able to use them. But it's going to depend. It's going to depend on whether or not the games are compatible. Now, one thing that Sony did is they took a look at the 100 most popular PlayStation 4 games, not VR games, just the 100 most popular PlayStation 4 games. And basically what they determined is that most of the 100 most popular are going to work right away, but not all. There's a couple of them that aren't going to work. So then what happens with the PlayStation VR games? Like, how many of those are going to work? How important are those? How high on the priority list are those? I didn't know that we were going to be in one of these situations where there would be spotty compatibility. That's kind of weird. That throws a monkey wrench into the overall program. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, we really didn't get almost any kind of information about PlayStation 5. So wasn't really much to talk about. Now, from a pure power standpoint, Xbox is going to have the more powerful console this go around. But the difference in power between the two consoles, negligible at best. It's not going to result in anything. The difference in power is so small that it's really not going to be a factor. So I don't really think we need to concern ourselves too much about that. These are going to be very powerful machines. And with a proper PlayStation VR 2, it's going to be interesting. PlayStation 5, it's still going to be expensive. It's still going to be expensive because to buy a PlayStation 5 and to buy a PlayStation VR 2, it's probably going to be like $1,000 to do that, but you're going to have a real high-end VR experience probably with that combination that's really going to be dialed in, and it's really going to be tailor-made. It's going to be pretty good. So that'll be nice. Okay, one of the other things I did want to talk about, folks, I do have this dream, like this long-term dream of running around my house and pretending that there is lava everywhere and that I have to jump around my house. Okay, and so why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because of this new iPad Pro, or whatever it was that was revealed very recently. Here it is. So it's got a Lidar scanner. And so the Lidar scanner that is built into this iPad Pro is going to be able to analyze your room, and then they're also going to have machine learning kind of software built in. It's going to understand your play space. So this is the interesting thing that we're heading towards, ladies and gentlemen. It is called scene recognition and understanding. Do you guys remember the Qualcomm video that I run all the time? The Qualcomm video where it basically turns your house into vanishing realms, and the kid is running up the stairs, and he's like running upstairs in vanishing realms, jumping on his bed, which is a nice, beautiful cot in a vanishing realms castle. And that is all about scene recognition and understanding. Okay, and that's what this new iPad is going to feature with this Lidar capability. It's going to be able to understand your room. And really, when it comes to the future of spatial computing, which really is going to be, that's going to be the next medium. This is the next computer medium, spatial. It really is going to be spatial. I know it's something that Roni Abovitz talks about, spatial computing, and your eyes start to glaze over after a while. But that's really where we're going here. VR and AR, it's going to be all spatial, and it's going to be about scene recognition, man. Scene recognition, understanding sofas, coffee tables, cats, a pile of dirty clothes on the ground, shoes, slippers, flip-flops, dog toys. It's going to have to understand all this stuff. It's going to have to understand people walking in front of things, the occlusion, all of that type of stuff. And this is the example here. Here's the lava in the living room. Now, it's not exactly what I'm looking for, because I want actual glasses and I want to be looking down at the lava, and I want to be in the game myself, not controlling a little stick figure guy moving him around. But it is pretty interesting regardless. So we do have some of that next gen AR stuff going on with the Apple thing. Slayblaze, thanks so much. Super chat, another super chat by Slayblaze. Really appreciate it, bro. And he says, watch out for lava in your living room. No, man, seriously, I want like swimming, like sharks, like freaking Jaws, the Jaws experience in your own house, where you're walking from one room to another and there's a freaking shark, and you got to go out into the middle of the ocean and grab something, but sharks could possibly attack you. There's interesting things that can happen, I believe. But yeah, that is the new iPad. What about Lidar though? Is anybody out there concerned about like health possibilities? Like, do we really need Lidar coming off like phones and tablets now? Is every little thing going to have Lidar? Are we going to have VR headsets or AR headsets that are going to have Lidar built into the actual headsets? And how safe is that? So yeah, lots of interesting things are happening in the world today. Okay, let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to get into? Yeah. No, wait. We got another thing I wanted to get into. Okay, so one trailer that has shown up very recently that I wanted to mention really quick is for Echo VR. And so let's go ahead and check out this trailer for a quick second. I'm going to go ahead and pop this trailer on. We're going to go to this big screen window here, and let's check this out for a second.
In zero gravity, players fly faster. Passes go farther. Strikes hit harder. Stakes get higher. And victory tastes sweeter.
Okay, so yeah, this is a brand new Echo VR trailer that has released very, very recently. And I got to imagine that the vast majority of people that see this trailer for the first time, when you think about the timing of it, it's called Echo VR. It's a brand new trailer, just came out. And we know that Echo VR is about to hit the Oculus Quest. It's on the coming soon area for Oculus Quest. Then you see this trailer. Now, when I first saw this trailer, I was like, oh wow, the Oculus Quest version of Echo VR looks great. Like, wow, Ready at Dawn did an incredible job. I played this at OC6. It didn't look this good. Wow, they freaking improved it by leaps and bounds. Okay, no, here's the thing. You watch this video, there is some small fine print at one point that says footage from Oculus Rift S. So it says something about the footage from Oculus Rift S. So this is not Oculus Quest footage. And so when I first saw that, I was really a little bit pissed off by it because I was like, this is kind of like, should this be allowed? Should Oculus Quest games be able to show off, there it is, gameplay captured on the Oculus Rift S. Should Oculus Quest games be allowed to use Rift S footage? Is it false advertising? But here's the thing, if you watch this entire trailer, what it does is it says Echo VR, and then it says also coming to Oculus Quest. So they basically save their ass. Let's watch the very end of this.
Victory tastes sweeter. This is Zero G in the Echo Arena.
I thought it said also coming to Oculus Quest or something. Maybe I accidentally cut off the end of that part. But yeah, they kind of get away with it because they basically say Echo VR available now or something, and then also coming to Oculus Quest. So it's kind of like, oh no, we're not trying to pretend that this is Oculus Quest footage. No, this is Echo VR, and it's also coming to Oculus Quest. But I don't know. I think the average person that watches this is going to assume that this is the actual Quest footage, and they're going to be surprised when they finally get their hands on the real game, because no, it does not look like that. I wish it looked like that, but nah, not really. Hopefully the gameplay will hold up. I mean, that's the real key there. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch back over to chat. Let's see what some people are talking about here. Okay. Mepper says, imagine if your AR converts your cat into a large spider. Yeah, and I'm sure that will happen. AR, a large black widow. And FF Frank says, or your girlfriend into an attractive, or my girlfriend into an attractive girlfriend. Oh, hell no, FF Frank, or just F Frank this time. Dude, you better hope your girlfriend isn't a diehard viewer of VR365, because you are sleeping on the couch tonight, bro, with no AR goggles to help you out. No, but that is an interesting future that, that's a Black Mirror episode, and we've seen that Black Mirror episode. In fact, Slayblaze says, one day we'll get that tech, I'm sure. Oh, hell yes, we will. We absolutely will get that tech. Now, MainFan does have a very good point in chat. MainFan says the problem with the lava and the shark and turning your cat into a black widow and turning your dog into a saber-toothed tiger and making some kind of game out of it. The problem with all of these things, MainFan says, is that they're all going to be little novelties. They're all going to be, aw, shucks, it's kind of cute, but they're not going to have any meat. There's going to be no meat on the bone. And so you're going to play the little lava game for an afternoon. You're never going to play it again. You're going to play the shark game. You're going to play Deep Blue Sea AR Edition. And then you're never going to play it again. And you're going to play, your dog is a black widow. And then you're never going to play it again. Or you're going to play Alien Invasion. The aliens are invading your house. And then you're never going to play it again. I don't know. I think these developers are more creative than that. I think there will be a lot of experiences that are very brief and novelty and kind of gimmicky sort of experiences. I think we're going to have plenty of that. But I also believe there will be developers that will do some very interesting things. They'll think of things that we could just never have possibly imagined. That's why I feel like a lot of people sell AR short a little bit from that standpoint. Let's see here. Going back, I just wanted to see if I missed anything here about PlayStation 5. Yeah, so MainFan says Xbox has better GPU. PlayStation 5 has the better SSD. Yeah, well, okay, so Xbox has the better GPU, right? But PlayStation 5 supposedly can shift its power from the CPU to the GPU in a burst scenario where there's a 10-second scenario that the GPU on PlayStation 5 will outperform the Xbox Series X XXX. It's possible. I mean, that's what they're going to do. I mean, AMD is making both of them. AMD is making all of it. Why is AMD stock always so freaking low in comparison to all of this? Okay, but yeah, so that's most of the stuff I did want to cover today. One other thing I did want to mention real quick before I do bounce out of here is, let's see here. I did want to mention that there is a game that is arriving this Tuesday, March 24th on PlayStation VR. It is called Paper Beast. It is developed by Pixel Reef. And here's the good news, folks. The good news is I am playing this game right now. I've been playing this game over the last couple of days. Here's the bad news. I can't say anything about it. I can't tell anybody anything about this game, even though I really want to talk about this game, and I think there's a lot to talk about this game. But I can't say anything about it. But here's what I am going to say. So the embargo for Paper Beast expires on Monday, really early in the morning. I believe it might be like 8 a.m., possibly Monday morning Pacific time. The embargo is going to expire. And what I think I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to make a pre-recorded video where I'm going to discuss this game in detail. And I'm going to have that video ready to go. So right when the embargo is lifted, bam, the video pops. I'm actually going to be at work. As far as I know, I am going to be at work this Monday. So no Half-Life for me, bro. At least not until I get off work. And my dog is upset about it as well. Color Space. Yeah, you know, a lot of people are talking about Color Space in chat. Let me grab that trailer. I did grab that trailer. I did see that. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. I do have that. That's actually one of, I missed that one. That was one of the things I wanted to get to. Okay, so here's Color Space. Let me go ahead and pump this up. Let's switch to the big window. So yeah, this is a coloring book in VR. Looks pretty dope. Really looks nice. The VR coloring book. It's available now by Lighthouse, currently available for Oculus Quest and for the Rift. It is $10. Now, one of the big things about this game, folks, well, it's not a game, first of all. It's an interactive coloring book, basically. You can change colors of different things. It's a coloring book. You know what this reminds me of, what I think about when I see it, especially when it's all white, and you don't have any color and you just add like one color to something. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the 1980s, okay, or the 1990s, like at a Kmart or something, right? You'd be at a Kmart, and now I wouldn't be at a Kmart, but you would be at a Kmart, okay? You would be at a Kmart, and on the end cap, they would have this little cardboard setup that would have all these things that would be in this plastic, and it would be these big coloring things, and they would be all wrapped in plastic, really intricate, not like a coloring book for like a teenager, basically, not a coloring book for a little kid, but like a really high-end coloring book, right? And it would come with a pack of its own markers, and it was like this they were big, you know, it took up a lot of space. And they would have them at like Kmart and like Target and stuff like that way back in the olden days. I remember those. I never got one. I never ever used one, but I remember seeing them. And but I don't even know if I tripped on them or thought they were that cool or wanted to have one. But that's kind of what this looks like. It kind of looks like the virtual reality version of it. I think it looks very cool. I mean, the music is nice. It's very chill. I'm sure this is a really chill thing. But man, when I saw the price, I was like, what? $9.99? Really? This looks more like a $3.99. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for saying this looks like $3.99? Am I crazy for being a little bit surprised that this is $9.99? But at the same time, look, you make something interesting like this. There's nothing really like this that's available, and you want to get paid. All right? I understand that. I understand wanting to get paid. We all want to get paid, you know? So, I mean, I can't blame them for asking for $10, you know? Hopefully this will go on sale at some point. I don't think I'd pay $10 for it. You know what would be nice, though? It would be nice if there was a really short demo, you know, just so you can get a little quick burst feel for what this feels like. An abbreviated demo, maybe it just gives you one of these scenes, but doesn't even give you a long time with it. Like you've only got a real limited amount of time with it, and then it times out. You can start the demo over, but it's got like an intro, so it kind of makes it a little bit irritating to like try to start the demo over and over again. And then it might make it tempting for somebody to want to kick out $10 for this thing. But it does look cool. A lot of people are trying it. I think it'd be about $3.99 would be a great price. Let's see what some folks are talking about over here in chat. Okay, Main Fan says, the problem is your house is always the environment in AR. Devs probably can't come up with much to do with that. They have no control over the setting. I'm stealing from Bobby. Bobby Blackwolf, yeah. I mean, that's your main critique, Main Fan. We've heard that critique before. I disagree. I think there's unlimited things that can be done. You know, I think there's unlimited things that can be done, but we'll see. We'll find out soon enough, right? But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff where the developers aren't thinking out of the box, and it's going to be a lot of gimmicky shit that is awful. But I think there's going to be enough just unbelievably clever type stuff that people are going to figure out that it's going to be freaking awesome. So I'm still looking forward to AR, but AR is way behind VR, way worse than I ever thought it was. Like I thought AR was like 3 years behind VR. No, it's like 7-8 years behind VR. AR is way behind in my opinion. Paradise Decay says, at VR365, before you go, check out Color Space. Launched on Quest today. Been hearing really good things about it. Aaron Sommer says, loves Color Space. Gamertag VR. Sup? What's up, bro? Frank Zappa says, I hope and imagine the PlayStation 5 will have a decent browser this time. That's funny that you'd think of that. A browser on your console, but yeah. Gaming science teacher. Okay, to clarify, governor had strongly encouraged non-essential business, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Miley Cyrus. We're not going to get into Miley Cyrus. Gamertag VR says, I think I counted 12 pictures, set pieces, so maybe $5 is about right. Yeah, like $3.99, $4.99. To me, that makes logical sense. Yeah, that does make logical sense. So a lot of people are talking about the coronavirus thing right now. I mean, I really don't want to get into it because honestly, my thoughts on coronavirus are probably way against the grain. And a lot of people think I'm out of my cotton picking mind. But one comment I will make about the coronavirus, but I'm looking for my little coronavirus thing. Yeah, here we go. Coronavirus drama wood. Might as well throw this on the screen if we're going to talk about coronavirus real quick. And we might as well go with the big screen window for maximum Miley Cyrus effect. Maximum Miley Cyrus effect. Okay, so one thing I did want to comment about in relationship to coronavirus 24/7, you gotta love it, right? But you know what? No, there is a serious problem with the coronavirus that is related to VR, and it is VR arcades and is location-based entertainment. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Just imagine, folks, there is somebody out there There is somebody that exists that opened up a VR arcade in late January. There's got to be somebody somewhere that just opened a VR arcade in like early February, mid-February, late January, and then this happens. All VR arcades must be shut down. You know, all gyms need to be shut down. Like all this stuff is being shut down. So actually going somewhere and using a VR headset is an absolute no-no. And it's going to be an absolute no-no for a long time. And that is going to cause some serious problems for the location-based entertainment industry, for VR arcades, because a lot of these are like mom and pop deals, okay? These are regular individual people. And a lot of these VR arcades, they are not printing money by any stretch of the imagination. They're barely scraping by. They were barely scraping by before any of this stuff happened. And now they got to deal with this. Now I got to imagine places like The Void and like Universal and the bigger players out there, they're going to be able to survive this. The mom and pop ones, wow. So here's what I really think should happen. And unfortunately, I don't think we have a system like this in place, but I think on a global scale, we need to have an emergency measure that we can enact, which basically gives 90 days for everything is just on hold for 90 days. So for example, you know, you have your mortgage payment that is due on April 1st, and your mortgage payment is due on May 1st, and your mortgage payment is due on June 1st, and your car payment, and your insurance payments, and your medical bill, and your cell phone bill, and all of these things. What if there was just a 90-day pause? Just time out. Time out for 90 days. No mortgage payments, no insurance, like somehow just have a 90-day moratorium where we just pretend that 90 days just doesn't happen. So the month of April, May, and June just do not happen. So your next mortgage payment is July 1st. Your next car payment is July 1st. It's too bad we couldn't enact some kind of system that just automatically just goes through everything. So just everything understands, okay, we're just shutting everything down for 90 days and we're pausing all of these things. Instead, what's going to happen is like all these people are going to like literally go out of business and stuff. And then they're going to have to apply to these agencies for relief. It is going to be a nightmare. It is going to be a red tape nightmare. And there's going to be a lot of people that are probably going to get money that like don't deserve it at all. There's going to be people that deserve the money that aren't going to get it. And then it's like, give $1,000 to everybody. Okay, yeah, let's just print money out of thin air, everybody. It's not like our national debt isn't like redonkulous as it is, but now let's just invent money out of thin air and just give it to everybody. Okay, that won't ever go bad, will it? So yeah, it's a chaos situation to be sure. I mean, it's a really serious situation. I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to talk about the mortality rate. I'm not going to get into any of that. Obviously, it's a very serious thing. Something is going on here. I will tell you that. Something is absolutely going on with this whole thing. It is a crazy, bizarro world. I was mentioning on the Discord server today that something is weird about like our modern world. I don't really know what's going on. But let's end on a happier note. And a happier note, folks, 4 days left. There are 4 days left. Quite possibly the best VR game ever, most likely the best VR game ever, will be here this Monday. How incredible is that? And it lasts like 15, 16, 17 hours or something. And for me, it's probably going to last at least 20 something hours because I'm going to explore every little back corner. I'm going to be looking at all the little details everywhere. I hope there's an area of this world where it starts raining because I want to see the raindrops coming down. I want to see puddles on the ground with raindrops dropping on puddles. I want to look up and actually see a raindrop, boom, hit and then trickle off of my headset. That would be sweet. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited. I'm hyped. It is going to be awesome. And then think about all the other games. Dude, the next day, Paper Beast, PlayStation VR, The Room VR on Thursday. What else? The freaking Down the Rabbit Hole on Thursday. So just a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. So there is some good things. So let's not think about all the terrible stuff. Man, because yeah, it's going to get pretty terrible. Some people are going to go out of their minds, dude, being at home with their kids and being stuck with their kids. And then also think of all the people out there, guys, that have to make dinners for the first time ever. For the first time ever. There are a lot of lazy Americans that make dinner like 3 times a week max, if even that. I'm talking 3 meals. There's 3 meals a day. There's 7 days in a week, right? So there's 21 meals. I'm saying out of the 21 meals that people typically eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner by 7 days, 21, there are American families that literally make 3 of those meals at home. And the rest of them are going out to places, going out to restaurants, fast food, pizza, etc. And when they shut everything down, these people, I'm kind of one of them. I am kind of one of them, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of one of them. You know that one Carl's Jr. commercial? There's a Carl's Jr. commercial where this guy is in the grocery store and there's ground beef that's in a plastic package. And the guy is like looking at the ground beef and he takes his finger and he like pushes in on the ground beef. That's kind of me. I don't make a lot of food, so I am going to suffer, folks. I really will suffer. Suffer the children. But yeah, thanks everybody for showing up in chat. Really appreciate it. Unfortunately, probably didn't get the message out early enough. So there's probably going to be some people tuning in about 12 minutes from now, thinking the show is just about to start. That is not going to happen. But yeah, Conrad Lawrence, my wife is that person. She hates being stuck in the house. Yeah, and F. Frank says, yeah, we'll get through it. Buy Charmin stock. Yeah, you should have bought it a long time ago. You should have bought that. That's the thing. All these stocks have already reacted to all of these things. Gaming Science Teacher says, lazy person here. I rarely make meals. It is going to be a struggle for some of us because I'm telling you, dude, I make like a grilled cheese or something. I'll make like a bean burrito using like a can of like I make the simplest things. I go and get some pepper turkey, thinly sliced, like super thin sliced pepper turkey from the deli, with some sandwich rolls and stuff. It's simple, man. I do simple things. And so I'm really going to be struggling in this scenario. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it for this episode of VR365 Live. I will be back this Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time on Twitch. So you can check me out then this Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, remember, on Monday, I will have a video that will pop for Paper Beast, a game that will be available on Tuesday for PlayStation VR. I believe the embargo is over on Monday, so I will have that video popping. I still need to make it, haven't done it yet, but I believe there's a lot to talk about with that game, so I will get into that. Look forward to that on Monday. Alrighty, folks. Gamertag VR. Have I played Hyperdash? Not yet. Not yet, but a lot of people are talking about Hyperdash. I need to check it out. All right, I need to bounce, folks, so I will see everybody on Sunday. We'll see you guys on Sunday. I got to get the heck out of here. All right, everybody have a good one. Take it easy. Later.